So Tom, I had a guy call me today, and he was talking about how he was using some random cyanoacrylate. I guess you could say like our M-Bond 200, which this is more of a high-end cyanoacrylate. And he was saying that he's using it on a fiber reinforced plastic, and that he wasn't having good fatigue life. So where would you suggest he move from there, seeing as he's already used a super glue type adhesive, and he's got a composite that he's trying to use in a fatigue type nature?
Well, the first thing I would say is don't go to the hardware store and buy your adhesive system. You should buy a qualified strain gauge adhesive that has been tested and approved for that kind of application. But because of the porous nature of that fibrous material, the cyanoacrylate is absorbed into the surface and it starves the bond line, so it's not a very good choice. I would probably recommend something like our AE10 or GA2 or AE15. They're excellent fillers to fill the voids within the surface of the material, and then you just lightly sand to present the parent material again, and then bond with the appropriate adhesive system, which could maybe be the M-Bond 200, or using the AE10 or AE15 again as the bonding adhesive. This way you fill the roughness of the surface, because the strain gauge can't conform to that roughness and it won't starve the bond line, and yet you can still have a room temperature curing adhesive system if you use AE10 or GA2.
Awesome. So you think you could even use something like our solvent thin epoxy, thin bond 600 or 610 afterwards, after we filled it in with the epoxy?
You could. However, the AE10 GA2 are limited to around 200 degrees Fahrenheit, while the 600, 610 adhesive systems are rated much higher. So if you're within the temperature range of the AE10 or GA2, certainly you could use this on top of it, but it would probably be a redundant component, something overqualified for the job.
Would you be concerned with using something like a solvent thin epoxy, which yields a very, very thin, rigid bond line on a fiber reinforced plastic as far as elongation characteristics?
Absolutely not. This material is not designed for any porosity or any roughness of the surface. It forms a bond line of 2/10,000ths of an inch thick when properly clamped, and so it would not be a very good choice for a rough surface. You have to fill the surface with something else. If you're going to the elevated temperatures, the GA61 might be an excellent choice.
All right, thanks.